Hi everyone, welcome back in another video of PTP. Yep, that's me. Last weekend I was really sick. I still am sick, but I'm doing slightly better. In today's video, I wanted to briefly talk about my experiences and my journey in the Therian community and as a Therian myself. In those times, those isolated, very lonely times, I think it's really important to stay connected with your friends, but also with strangers and find new positive things in your life. So maybe trying to connect with friends or the Therian community overall, and just sharing something about yourself, who you are and what you like, or what your theriotypes are, what your Therian experiences are, might be really brightening up your day and brightening up someone else's day. I'm PD, stands for pink dolphin, and that's actually one of my theriotypes. I identify as a pink river dolphin. I'm also a polytherian, which means I identify as two theriotypes, or more than one either way. I identify as a pink river dolphin and a suicide shepherd dog. Those are my theriotypes, they're called. I've identified as a suicide shepherd dog. Identified as means feel as if you are. Since I can remember, so probably since I was born. I have notes in my diaries, my journals, when I was 9 years old, when I was saying like, secret, I'm part dog. So at a very young age, I already had very clear signs of being a dog in some way or another. I acted like a dog, I wanted to be a dog. When I was starting to get depressed at 11 years old, I wanted to die and return as a suicide shepherd dog specifically. Around my childhood I had some very difficult times, moments and issues, and I recommend watching my Drama Life video, which I will link in the description and at the end of this video, to better know what that was like. I reached my 16 years old when I had nothing to do because of all my past stuff, and when I was really bored I started googling, but I also found the word Therian when I found first the Teen Werewolves video, like you all know them, the Teen Werewolves interview news thing. And then I found Therian videos from Lila Sutman and Aaron Ashbert. And I started looking into Therian trophy and I just immediately knew, okay, I'm a Therian and my theriotype is a suicide shepherd dog. Not much later I started making YouTube videos, even though they were really small and very silly and they didn't mean anything. And the information was also not always as correct as I hoped them to be. So when people slowly started to find my videos and watched and react, I decided to make this a thing. I kept doing YouTube, I actually put some effort into my channel. I was a 16-year-old kid that wanted to belong somewhere. I was like, I want a pack, I want to be in a pack, I didn't want to be alpha. So when I found a local Facebook group, the Blue Storm Therian pack, then I was like, I want to be in there. But the description said like only wolves and the name had wolf in it, and it seemed like it would only allow wolves. No, I wasn't a wolf, but I wanted to be in the pack, so I actually lied about being an Arctic wolf to be able to join this pack. No, when I joined this pack and actually got in there, I discovered that there was a husky and there was like a dog. They weren't all wolves. The bad thing was done and I had lied and I had to keep up the story because I didn't want to have betrayed my friends, I guess. And I knew this was this typical young teen thing I did. You know, when you want to belong somewhere, so you would do anything to fit in and later on regret it. Yeah, that thing. Slowly but surely I got around to talking with the members and admitting that I was a dog and not a wolf. However, in the meantime, when I was lying that I was a wolf to fit in, I had actually forgotten that I was a suicide shepherd dog to start with. I knew I wasn't a wolf at that point, but I didn't know anymore what I was instead. So I actually had to search back for this breed, the suicide shepherd dog. Around February 2017, I actually joined the Therian Guide forums. I made my first connections and friends of the term, and I finally discovered the right terminology and all the kinds of information about Therian trophy. Now, as I mentioned, I only discovered being a pink river dolphin later on in life, and that was because I only discovered this when I was on Therian Guide. I already had the feeling for quite a long time that I had another theriotype, but I couldn't put my paw on it. For a while I thought I was a reference elephant shrew. All the time I really hated dolphins. A member of it there, however, told me that I shared a lot of behaviorisms that other dolphins also had. So I started looking into it and I discovered I was a pink river dolphin for facts. After Therian Guides, I actually really found myself in the community. I enjoyed it. Kept discovering things, created a few shift things, special triggers like bass will trigger a dolphin shift for me. As experiences in the community were so positive. I grew a lot as a person, I became so confident, I was happy, I had friends, I had a family, a place to belong. I learned so much socially, knowledge-wise, spiritually, psychologically. I think this journey hasn't always been positive because the more I grew as a YouTuber, the more negative experiences I got as well. Like it feeling like it was a curse, something I had to do, a burden on me. I really care about watches, but even if I try really hard and I reply to 300 comments a day and I reply to 50 chat messages a day, sometimes it doesn't seem to be good enough. If I combine everything into a big bowl, it is overall still very positive. And I still grew, and even the bad experiences helped me learn communication, learn social skills, learn how to keep my distance and just shut up sometimes and accept that people are angry at me. So yeah, that was my experiences in the Therian community, as well as discovery and everything of that. Woof, PD! Hi all, and I'm officially 1 hour on tea. Hi everyone, welcome back, and this is my voice 1.5 months on tea. As a little update, I don't think my voice has actually dropped yet. I rather think I was sick and that made my voice very low.